Hey there, I'm Lunsford, and you're watching a review of Luke Oseland's Visual AF Magic Tricks. What is up, beautiful people? My name is Lunsford, and welcome back to another magic trick review with a view. That's right. Today, we're not in the studio like we were in the Keymaster video, so if you haven't seen that one, go check that video out after this. We're here to talk about a book today, and this is the first book review I've ever done, I think. Pretty sure. I don't think I've reviewed a book on this channel. So I'm super excited to get into this. There are so many magic tricks in here. There are 20 different effects in this book, and we're going to talk about some of my favorite ones. What is this? Are they even good? Yeah, what's this book about? What's the positive? What's the negatives? We're getting into it, so stick around. We're going to get into it literally right now. First off, you need to know what actually is Luke Oseland's Visual AF Magic Tricks. In Luke Oseland's Visual AF Magic Tricks, you will learn the thinking and methodology behind 20 different effects that have gained him and other influencers tens of millions of views. Luke is going to teach you visual effects that you will be able to seamlessly integrate into your everyday life, allowing you to perform impossible visual situational miracles. With this book, you also gain access to over 2 hours of video tutorials where each effect is explained in depth by Luke himself. Now that you know what the book is about, let's talk about some more questions you may have, such as how difficult are these effects to perform? These effects are not hard to do at all. Pretty much all of these involve a gimmick of some sort, which I'll go ahead and get into it. Is there anything you need to make or buy or supply? Yes, because a lot of these things are gimmicked, so you are going to have to make those gimmicks at home, but none of these gimmicks are really that hard to make. There might be 1 or 2 in there that are a little bit more difficult than the others, especially when you get to a certain section of the book. I don't want to give too much away, but for the most part, they're pretty easy to do. And if you're a gimmick person, if you already make gimmicks at home, you probably have most of this stuff already. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. If you're someone that absolutely hates building gimmicks, if you were sitting here man, I really don't want to build another gimmick in my life and I'd be happy, you probably don't want this. But if you're okay with building some gimmicks, and if you like visual magic, you probably are, because that's mostly what it is a lot of the times, then yeah, there's some gimmick building in here that you'll have to do, but it's not difficult. How are the angles for these effects? Well, most of this stuff is visual magic that is for social media. A lot of it in there, the angles are, you're going to be able to control, because this is made for camera, or like a Zoom show or social media on TikTok or something like that. For the most part, your angles won't really matter, because many of these are intended for social media. There are a couple in there that are fine for in the coffee shop, where you don't really need to worry about your angles, because you're sitting there with a friend, you can do a magic trick. But there's a fair amount of tricks in here that you would need to worry about your angles, but they're not made for real life. So there's that. Are there any negatives about the book? Well, I just kind of mentioned that you have to build some gimmicks, and some of this stuff isn't made for real life. So if that's something that bothers you, then that's a negative for you. But just so you know, if you're getting this, you probably already are expecting that a lot of the stuff's for social media, considering there are multiple social media logos on the front. What are the positives about this book? I love that this is filled with so much visual magic, and I know that's the point of this book. But there is so much stuff. There's 20 different tricks in here, and this is my favorite positive: they all have video tutorials. As someone who is, I don't read a ton of magic books, I'm trying to get more into it. This is a great way to start getting into magic books if you're not already into them, because it's short, sweet, to the point, and there's also video tutorials included. So if you're someone that's not a huge fan of magic books, but you're trying to get into it, highly recommend this book. A lot of pictures, not a ton of work. Obviously a lot of work, because it's a book, but there's also a lot of pictures involved. So totally recommend this for someone that's I want to read more magic books. Well, you absolutely can, because I'm trying to do the same thing. What should this retail as? Well, currently this retails as $40 US, and is that a fair price? Yeah, I'd say so. There's 20 different tricks in here. That's $2 a trick, and most of these could probably go as a download anywhere from $5 to $10. So yeah, you're getting a good deal here. And you also get some thinking and a little bit of theory behind them in some of these, so that's what I also enjoyed as well. So yeah, it's a good book, especially for the price. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video. I really do appreciate it. And if you feel that Luke Oseland's book, Visual AF Magic Tricks, is for you, then a link to purchase it is in the description down below. I'd also like to thank Luke for sending me this book, so that way I can do this review. A few beautiful people out there. Once again, if you feel that it's for you, all the links that you need are in the description down below. And thank you so much again. Thank you so much for being here. You didn't have to watch this whole video, but I'm glad you did, and I hope that it was informative for you. And if you want to watch another Luke Oseland review, you can click this video right here. I actually reviewed a trick called Vape Through. So it's a vape through dollar bill. It's basically a pin through bill updated. I really like it. I think it's really cool. So check that video out if you'd like to.